Okay, so this video I want to talk about chapter 1022 from One Piece. Obviously this video will have spoilers, so if you not have read the chapter yet, do not watch this video. Read the chapter first, and you can watch the video. Okay, it's confirmed right now that King belongs to the fire race that lives in the red line. I don't know exactly where the red line is in the One Piece world, but it's some place where, and King, the wildfire, is the king over the fire race in that place in the red line. So yeah, that was confirmed about King, and then obviously in the chapter we see Zoro start his fight with King, and in the end of the chapter, and we see Marco and Zoro at the same time. Marco attack Queen, Zoro attack King, and this kind of thing. And we see also, so we now is like free fight. For example, Zoro, King, Sanji, Queen, and one of the scabbards gonna fight against Spero, because now we know that all of the Flying Six is taken out. They are defeated. They are not no more in the story. And yeah, and that was a good chapter. There was a okay chapter. Probably that was the big thing that really happened. Probably the biggest one of them all in this chapter was what race King belongs to. That probably was the biggest confirmation about him. And then we see that Kaido's island has landed on Naginamashima. It's there now. So now Kaido is meet in the city of Wano. He is on the main city with his island. So what I think right now, and this now the speculation starts in this video. So this is just my speculation. How I think the island Kaido floats on, fly, is because of his devil fruit. I think that he have Doflamingo and Katakuri, he have an awakened devil fruit. So that because he can fly, and we know everybody with their awakened devil fruit that had ability can force their abilities on materials. For example, how Katakuri create the mirror world to his mochi power. So the whole place turned to mochi, like gluish slippery thing, like mochi. So because of Kaido can fly with his fish no mi, his his dragon fruit. So yeah, I think that is the reason why Kaido can float around, is because he uses awakened devil fruit on the island. So the island float because he can fly. So he can move the whole island because of his devil fruit. That is just my speculation. So there is a reason for how Kaido can come so far to different places. He just moved his island. So there is a reason why we never see Kaido's main ship. So I don't think Kaido have a ship, like a pirate ship. We know that his crew members have a ship. We know that Queen have a ship. Probably King too have a private big pirate ship. But that is just my speculation. That is the difference here with Kaido, is that Kaido moves his whole island with him when he go to places. He don't take a ship from his island and come back. He has moved the whole island, and that is how he can come to Wano and place his island very close to Wano, and then try to occupy it and this kind of thing. So it's not confirmed yet. We just have to wait for the data books to really confirm that if that is the case. If Kaido have an official awakening devil fruit. The only one that is confirmed 100% is Katakuri, and I always forget his name. Katakuri and Doflamingo is the only one 100% confirmed to have an awakening devil fruit. That means your power you can put into your surrounding and this kind of thing. So, for example, if you have a fire devil fruit, you can turn the whole place around you to fire. Just to stand there, you activate it. Everything trying to be like a flame ring forest with flames. So that is just my speculation how Kaido can move around, and because how we never see any official Kaido pirate ship, like for example like Moby Dick, like the Whitebeard have, like with the white whale that he can go underwater with. And for example, all of the emperors have a official ships that is belong to them, that have specific things with that ship that is different from normal pirate ship. For example, Big Mom's pirate ship that can talk, Whitebeard ship that can go underwater, and obviously and this is the two one that is we have seen what they can do. Obviously we don't have yet seen what what Shanks ship can do. We don't know that yet. Maybe, for example, Dragon's ship can maybe breathe fire, and yes, this is just speculation. And also was in this chapter was that when Killer fight against Hawking was tell Killer that he had placed something in Kid. So if Killer kills Basil Hawking, he will the same time kill his captain. So that is a very dilemma. So what should he do? Because if he not defeat that person, he will get killed. But if he kill that person, he will kill that person and his captain. So that is a dilemma. And so at the same time, Kid and Law fighting Big Mom, one of the emperor. So that is also a big problem. Yeah, very interesting. very interesting to see what will happen. So this is big fight coming up probably in the next chapter. So because we don't gonna have any break, so chapter 1023 we probably see the continuation with the fight with Zoro and King, and one of the scabbards. I totally forget the Catman. Fight against Sparrow, and we're gonna probably see a continuation with fight between Kaido, Luffy, and Yamato, and this kind of thing. So I look forward to chapter 23 to see what kind of ability Zoro will use against King, and because King use kind of fire abilities, because it's because of his race. That is very important to understand, that his organic power is fire, so he uses fire. So his blade is a normal blade, but because he belongs to a fire race, he can put fire on his blade. His Pteranodon is his fruit. That is a different thing. So his fruit is so that he can fly. His fire abilities is so that he can use fire. So he can combine his fruit abilities with his organic abilities, and this kind of. So that is the probably reason why he can breathe fire when he is in the Pteranodon form, but he can also breathe fire when he is not in the Pteranodon form. So the Pteranodon form is this is two things with King. Since it's very special. One of them, first them, is that his wing, when he's in his normal form, he have not transformed, is wing that belong to his race. That is specific race that have that black wings. So when he transformed to a pteranodon, he have total different kinds of wing. He don't have like a bird's wing. He have much more like a lizard wings, like a dinosaur wings, like pteranodon. So that is two different things. So pteranodon is one thing. It is just its fruit. Everybody that eat that fruit gonna have that shape. Gonna be pteranodon. But just because he have a very specific, belong to a very rare race with very specific power, there is a reason why his power together get very strong, because it's very, you have a flying power and you can use fire at the same time. It's a super good combination. The same as, for example, Queen. That Queen is a cyborg, but it's because he experiment on himself, like because he belonged to the 5 legendary scientists. For example, Vegapunk, Caesar Clown, Windsmoke, and Queen. Sorry, Ford. And then we have the other one I totally forget. So when Queen uses like virus bullet and ice demon bullets, it's not because of his devil fruit. It's because of his cybernetic abilities. So his devil fruit, his Brachiosaurus, is just his devil fruit. That he can use firepower is because of his experiment on himself with his like cybernetic power, like cybernetic. So there is a reason why they are so strong, King and Queen, because they have two bonus effect on them, like give them bonus effect, and this kind of thing. So yeah, so it's gonna be very interesting to see two, like it's like you have Zoro without any devil fruit, but he have a lot of skills with his swords. You have King, who have a devil fruit and a bonus effect like fire. So it's a bit unfair fight, but I think Zoro can take King. I think it's absolutely it's a big chance Zoro will win. And then we have Sanji, the same for Sanji. Sanji only have his raid suit and his abilities. So it's very gonna be a very cool fight to see this kind of thing. Really. And obviously now we don't yet have seen King's hybrid form. The only hybrid form we have seen of the commanders in the Beast Pirate is Queen. That is the only one. No, sorry, Queen and Kaido. These two characters is the only two of the member in the Beast Pirate that we see an awakening of. We don't have seen any awakening yet of Jack. So that's gonna be really cool to see his hybrid form. I think Jack and King's. I most look forward to see King's hybrid form. Let's see how that looks like. And yeah, I think the chapter was okay. There was personally not really my favorite chapter. I think was more preferred the chapter before, chapter 1022. It's probably sorry. So that's what this and so probably the next chapter probably will be more interesting, because then we're gonna see more fight with Zoro and King. This, and obviously now we also see that I see that Marco when Marco fight against King, I think King is maybe, but it's like, I think if Marco fight against King alone, like only King and Marco in an arena, I think then Marco probably win over King. But because King and Spirit together fight against Marcus, because Marco have to use his body to be bloom flames when Spirit shoots his candy arrow at Marco, and at the same time time everything when he have a possibility to hit King in the same time. So I think it was a bit unfair to have two commanders against you. Like one commander can defeat another commander But if there's two commanders against you at the same time, it's a bit unfair. So I think that is not strange that Marco was totally have reached his limit at that fight. And it's kind of thing because Spero is pretty strong. I think many people underestimate him because of his ability, because he used candy. But you know that all of the strong members that you have devil fruit power can inject that devil fruit power with armament hockey, so he can use his candy to bleed as hard as steel tips, like arrow steel tips. And you know, if you have a very very hard iron tip on the arrow, you can do a lot of damage with that if you have a strong bow and fire it with it. So I think Spero is very very dangerous, specifically if he have a long range and a big opening. He's going to be very dangerous. Yeah, so I'm glad that Marco is not the person that's going to fight to the end with King. I'm glad that Zorro will be the person, because now going to be interesting to see. We have Zorro going to fight a person that can use flame and can fly and can use a sword, 3 abilities. Zorro have his skill. That is what Zorro have. Zorro cannot fly. Obviously Zorro can send out wind swing with his sword that can shoot out his sword attack, so can like a long range attacks. Obviously Zorro have that. So now Zorro really have to think every move, every step he have to be very very careful, and have to really know exactly what King is when he do this. He are not allowed to miss an attack, because if he just give himself one opening, it's gonna be it's the end of him. Like, he have to really think all of his move when he fight against King. So that's going to be very very interesting to see that fight, specifically that fight, because it's so unfair fight. With you have King and you have Zorro, and obviously Zorro gonna win. Not gonna be easy at all, but Zorro gonna win over King, because he have to win over King in the end to defeat Mihawk. That is the best swordsman right now, and probably Zorro's final swords duel. I think the second final, like not the end, but before, is Series of the Rain. And Series of the Rain, that works with the Blackbeard Pirates, is one of the commanders. Have the I say always wrong there. Invisible fruit that he vanish. You cannot find him, and he's this kind of thing. So Zorro have to learn how to defeat that, and now I think I'm not 100% certain, but I think this is Zorro's first official flying swords opponent. I think that is the case. If I'm wrong, leave in the comment. If I'm wrong, is Zorro's first. Then I think his final swords opponent is the swords guy of the 5 elders is Zorro's final swords opponent, I think. And that is just my speculation. I really look forward to that fight. I think that is what I really look forward to see. So I really hope the next chapter that will come out next week will have that fight. I really hope for that. And I know many people really want to see Sanji, that are Sanji fan. I'm not any fan of Sanji or Zorro. I'm more I like more Queen with his style and his devil fruit, but I'm very very interesting to see King's fighting abilities with another very good swordsman. That is what I'm interested in. So obviously for me, that is what I really most want to see is King's fight, but it's also good to see if for me it's really don't really matter if Sanji's fight is first, then Zorro's fight. But what I really want to see, that's just what I want to see, I think, is to see Zoro and King in a different place in Wano, if they run away and fight somewhere else, and so we can see only Sanji and Queen fight. I don't want to see King and Zoro, Queen and Sanji at the same place. I really want them to split up, so we get more like a one-on-one fight. I think that should be really cool, because if you have to watch King and then Zoro and then Sanji and then Queen, it's gonna take away from me. I think personally, take away the fight, into the interest of the fight, because then who we gonna focusing on? There's gonna be too much destruction, and this kind of thing. Yeah, and obviously that we give, like, for example, like Jinbei's fight against Husu, like this kind of fight that we only one-on-one, and then we see obviously the chapter before with Nico Robin's devil abilities when she defeats Black Maria. Yeah, but the best fight absolute so far, I think, it was the fight with Jinbei and Husu was the best fight, and the second best was Nico Robin and Black Maria, and after that, I don't know. I think this was the only fight I really liked so far, and it was also, but yeah, maybe Queen or King's fight maybe gonna take the number one place on the best fight in Wano, or Yamato and Monkey D. Luffy's fight maybe gonna take the place. I just have to see all of the fights before I'm gonna say who I like the most, because then I really know what was the best fight in Wano when Wano arc is ended. And then I know. Yeah, and that is probably everything I really want to say about chapter 1022 of One Piece. It was a good chapter. It's always like One Piece is like a road trip. Like you go first, some chapter is all the way on the top, and some chapter is like down on the bottom, and some like it's always up and down, like good, bad, and okay. You have like this kind of thing, and everybody thinks differently. Some people think the chapter I think it was a bit boring was amazing. Some chapter what I like maybe say that the chapter was really boring. Everybody have different opinion how they think about the chapter, about the character in the story, and all of this kind of thing. For example, like the fan base between Zoro and Sanji, and like the Zoro fans thinks that Zoro is much better than Sanji. The Sanji fans obviously think that Sanji is much better than Zoro. And then you have other people that don't really care, like me, that like different characters that don't so much interesting in Zoro or Sanji. For example, my favorite character of that is a Straw Hat member is obviously Jinbei. Is my favorite character of the Straw Hat Pirates. And if Yamato joins the Straw Hat Pirates, then she will be my second favorite of the Straw Hat Pirates, and this kind of thing. Yeah. Okay. Everything I say.